If you've ever wondered how the teachings of the Stoics can help us deal with harmful and detrimental individuals in our experiences, this video is dedicated to you. Stoic philosophers have a distinct perspective on unwanted company and how to confront it. Stoics claim that the priority lies in personal growth, moral excellence, and the pursuit of wisdom. Stoics encourage people to make thoughtful choices in their friendships. It is crucial to avoid relationships that may obstruct our journey towards virtue and knowledge. This does not imply that we should judge others, but rather that we should be selective about those we allow to influence our lives. The famous Stoic philosopher Epicurus in ancient times shared his wisdom on the importance of choosing companions who promote your growth, individuals whose presence awakens your deepest virtues. You've probably heard the saying that your nature is influenced by the 5 people closest to you. In this moment, we will explore this idea from the Stoic perspective, investigating the 7 types of people who can create obstacles in your Stoic philosophical journey, and we will understand why it is essential to reconsider your friendships with them. Before we continue, please support this content by helping to spread the principles of Stoicism. If you haven't already subscribed, I recommend doing so and activating notifications to stay updated with all the latest content. If you want to deepen your understanding of Stoicism, don't miss the opportunity to improve your financial situation. Get the first type of person to be avoided, the constant critic. We all know that person, whether a friend, family member, or colleague who seems to find flaws in everything, whether it's the weather, work, or even the food at a popular restaurant. They rarely refrain from expressing their displeasure. Now, you might be wondering why this should affect me. I can simply ignore them. However, in practice, this is easier said than done. Constant exposure to such negativity has a debilitating impact on your mental health, resembling a continuous leak that gradually drains your reservoir of emotional energy. Stoicism teaches us to focus on practical solutions rather than dwelling on obstacles. For example, suppose you're collaborating on a project with someone who constantly complains. Every meeting turns into an exhausting marathon of complaints with no room for constructive dialogue. This negatively affects team morale, and you deviate from the course of finding tangible solutions. You're likely to gradually become disillusioned with the project and possibly with life in general. How does Stoicism help us deal with a chronic complainer? There are several strategies you can implement. First, minimize your exposure to this person as much as possible whenever possible. If that's not a viable option, whether they are family members or colleagues, the second alternative is to maintain a certain mental distance during their complaints. Consider their complaints as a passing storm, loud and disturbing, but ultimately fleeting and powerless in the face of your inner serenity, which remains unchanged. The third alternative you have is to steer the conversation towards solutions or change the subject to something more constructive. To quote the words of Marcus Aurelius, the power to change things is in your hands, not in the events that happen around you. Understanding this, you will find strength, this ancient wisdom from Stoicism, second profile to be avoided, the time waster. Imagine your daily routine as a carefully composed melody where each instrument symbolizes a task or commitment, and when executed together, they create a harmonious balance. However, the time waster appears, causing discord and disrupting the rhythm of the symphony of your life. These time wasters are individuals who often demand your time and attention, often without offering significant benefits in return. Perhaps you have a friend who regularly calls for lengthy and pointless conversations, leaving you exhausted and behind schedule, or a colleague who constantly interrupts your work with trivial questions, causing you to miss deadlines. These time drainers not only consume your time, but also disrupt your concentration, productivity, and peace of mind. To deal with these time drainers, it is crucial to establish clear boundaries. Communicate your availability and restrictions decisively but courteously. Make it clear when you are open to calls or meetings, and also communicate when you need uninterrupted periods for work. Encourage them to respect your schedule, just as you respect theirs. Another effective strategy is to redirect their requests to more efficient and productive communication methods. For example, if someone you know tends to engage in long, scattered phone conversations, suggest replacing them with short and specific text messages or emails for quick updates and questions. This will allow you to maintain control of your time and avoid wasting it. In Stoic philosophy, there is a focus on understanding what is under your control and what is not. People who consume your time often try to take control of your schedule and attention, but you can assert your authority by setting boundaries and managing your time deliberately. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for thee. The third type of person to be avoided is the imbalance instigator. Imagine yourself navigating the journey of your life as if it were a boat crossing calm waters, but suddenly you come across the vortex called the imbalance instigator. This person seems to have a seemingly endless sequence of challenging situations, conflicts, or controversies, and like a vortex, they have the disruptive ability to pull you into the chaos turmoil. Initially, you may be drawn to the vibrancy of the imbalanced instigator, mistaking it for enthusiasm or excitement. However, you will soon realize that staying in their circle is like sailing a boat in a storm, exhausting and risky. What makes dealing with drama instigators challenging is that their crises often seem personal. Their agitation is contagious, and before you know it, you may be drawn into conflicts in which you were not initially involved. Let's consider a practical example. You have a friend who frequently gets into disagreements with other people in your group of friends. Today, they are at odds with Sarah. Tomorrow, it's with Tom. Your friend seeks your advice, but you notice that this cycle seems endless, and suddenly you also find yourself in conflict with Sarah or Tom because you tried to intervene. In this scenario, you can employ a technique called reflective listening. Instead of offering guidance or taking sides, repeat their words back to them. For example, if someone says, "I'm shocked by what Sarah said about me," you can respond with, "So you feel hurt by Sarah's words." This technique allows you to show emotional support without getting involved in the drama. Another approach, which may seem contradictory, is to adopt a selectively unavailable attitude. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of valuing our time, and occasionally this involves not making yourself available for other people's frequent crises, especially when they seem to have no solution. Turn off your phone at specific times. Establish periods of focus in which you dedicate yourself fully to your work or personal growth, and make it clear that during these times, you need peace. As Seneca stated, true happiness lies in enjoying the present without worrying about the future. This perspective can be especially helpful when dealing with people who attract drama. Instead of worrying in advance about the next crisis, focus on the types of individuals to avoid. #4, the victim. Imagine life as a chessboard where all players have the same pieces and a single goal to checkmate the opponent's king. You act strategically, make sacrifices, and take calculated risks. However, the victim constantly blames the board, the pieces, or even the opponent for every unfavorable move. In their view, they are perpetually cornered by external forces. The victim uses their difficulties as a constant excuse, avoiding taking any responsibility to relate to a victim. Ask open-ended questions that encourage them to reflect on their situation instead of offering ready-made solutions. Show empathy, but don't become their savior. Let us remember the words of Epictetus. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Keep control over your own game and move your pieces with discernment. Fifth category of person to be avoided, the critic. Imagine yourself as an artist shaping a masterpiece, each touch adding form, depth, and soul to your vision. Now visualize the critic entering your studio, contemplating your creation, and immediately starting to express their opinions. Are you sure about this shape? This doesn't seem authentic. They begin to raise questions like scratches on the stone, gradually obscuring your striking sculpture. This is not constructive criticism. It's a constant aura of uncertainty and negativity. They can undermine your self-confidence and make you question your vision. To deal with a critic, an effective strategy is to seek suggestions rather than share your projects. Another tactic is to adopt a constructive approach, challenging them to think of solutions instead of issuing mere criticism. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus: "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listen carefully, but don't absorb all the negativity. Separate valuable feedback from mere noise, the 6th type of individual, to better avoid the excessive enthusiast. This is the person who constantly radiates an exaggerated dose of positivity, ignoring challenging feelings and situations. They suggest that you simply seek happiness, even when going through tough times, neglecting your emotions. To deal with someone like this, engage them in a conversation that acknowledges both the positive and negative aspects. Remember that life is multifaceted, and it is entirely normal to experience a wide range of emotions. Take care of your own emotional world by recognizing the richness and complexity of your feelings. 7th type of people. To avoid the master of persuasion, imagine your life as a movie script in which you are the main character and have a vision of how your story should unfold. However, the master of persuasion acts as the hidden director who subtly reshapes your script without you realizing it. They use praise, guilt, and even schemes to steer you in their advantageous direction. To deal with a manipulator, an effective strategy is to agree with the true aspects of their statements, but resist being influenced by emotional pressure, set clear boundaries, and stand firm. Remember that you're in control of your own narrative. If you wish to delve deeper into Stoicism, don't miss the opportunity to transform your financial situation. Get the ebook, The Roadmap to a Stoic Life of Prosperity now. Path to Lasting Wealth. By identifying and avoiding these 7 types of people, the eternal complainer, the problem magnet, the questioner, the victim, the detrimental optimist, the controller, and the time waster, you can preserve your mental tranquility, focus on what truly matters, and continue your Stoic journey with resilience and virtue. One of the key Stoic lessons is to accept that many things are beyond your control. Concentrate on controlling your own actions, thoughts, and emotions rather than excessively worrying about external events. Remember that the Stoic journey is a continuous process. It's not about perfection, but rather about progress and constant self-improvement. By following these guidelines, you will be on the right path to focus on what truly matters and live with resilience and virtue. We appreciate your attention, and if you found this content valuable, please like and subscribe to support our ongoing exploration of Stoic philosophy. Your engagement and commitment to Stoic principles contribute to a community of individuals seeking wisdom, courage, and a fulfilling life.